Hey, Buckets, how the fuck are you, man?
Well, I'm good now, man. Woke myself up a little bit, had a nice little IPJ war cry blasting out my eardrums as always. And you
Oh,
know
yeah.
I'm doing well. We got UCL this weekend, baby. That is what it's all about. And I am fired up. Sorry, Jeff, that was quick. Bleep that one out for me here, man. But I'm pumped, man. This is what it's all about.
Dude, we were on a hat trick of shows of you cursing, man. 150 with no curse words, and then all of a sudden, back to back to back, the John Bucket timer steps up once again, baby. Hey, listen, it's kind of a weird time right now. I know it's obviously not normal for you. There's not much games going on, certainly no domestic games going on. It's a little unusual in the betting space, but you're still having a lot of joy in social media. You're jumping to the live bets from every fucking country and even countries I've never even heard of before. How's that working out for you? Because it seems to me like the loyal listeners are loving it.
They're absolutely loving it. And I think we got a little bit lucky because we have such a good community here that understands that it's tricky. It's hard enough to live bet games like in the English Premier League or the Bundesliga, but I'm out here betting the Kazakhstani First League, the Bolivian First Division. Right before we filmed this episode, I was watching a bad YouTube stream on my phone of Breidablik versus Vikingur in the Icelandic division. We're having fun, but I think people understand it's for fun. This is not where you make a ton of money betting on these games.
Yeah, listen, just a heads up for everybody out there. I think you're getting the sense that me and Buckets are going to slow down just a little bit. It's time for us to just take a little bit of a breather because obviously the Euros and Copa America's coming up. We want to be active for you there. Obviously, we'll be prepared for the beginning of next season. Major League Soccer will still be going on. But while we have this little down period, I'm going to fly off. I'm going to go on a little vacation. I'm heading off to Scotland next week at John Bucket Timer. So I'm going to take a little break and switch off from the CBS sports work. And I'm also going to switch off from Stoppage Time for just that split second and enjoy some peace and quiet. Maybe not so much peace and quiet, but a lot of alcohol and some fucking golf when I head over there with my daughter Madison, who just celebrated her 18th birthday. But Buckets, we got a heavy show here for the loyal listeners today because it is a Champions League Final special. Not much chat, straight to the fucking bet, Buckets. Are you happy with that?
I think that I am happy with that. And I think more importantly than my happiness is Eric Gunnarsson is happy with that. So no chit chat today. Let's get some bets out, Ian.
Hey, listen, before we do so, I just want to say great job this past year. Obviously, as we've rejuvenated the show some way on our own with producer Jeff, it's been just taken off and the numbers are fantastic. We're so very happy and grateful for having Jeff on board. I'm very grateful for the work that you're doing. I kind of wanted to raise a little glass to you, John Bucket Timer, and to producer Jeff for what we've built here with our loyal listeners. Prost to you. Cheers to everybody out there as well. Champions League final, baby. Everybody out there, thank you so much for the comments, the likes, the subscribes, the loves, the follows, and for John Bucket Timer for always allowing us into his dating life. I appreciate you, Buckets. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Cheers to you too, Jeff.
So let's get into it, everybody. It is, of course, the Champions League final. We do have Borussia Dortmund taking on Real Madrid. Here's some statistics to back what's happening up in this game. Let's go for the Borussia Dortmund angle first and foremost. Borussia Dortmund are competing in their third Champions League final after winning in 96-97 against Juventus, and then they lost to Bayern Munich. Of course, Buckets is Bayern Munich in 2012-13. Marco Reus is the one sole surviving member of the team that lost to Bayern Munich at Wembley 11 years ago. He is set to make his 429th and final appearance for the club. It's going to be a sad day when you say goodbye to Marco Reus. I'm sure producer Jeff will be disappointed on the day. Not the only sole survivor. There was another one. That is, of course, Mats Hummels, who made 114 ball recoveries this season in the competition, the most of any centre-back, alongside Schlotterbeck, who was second on 77. Only Antwerp with 17 have conceded more goals than Real Madrid this season, who conceded 15 in this year's competition. Borussia Dortmund have conceded just 9 goals. That is by far the fewest of any team to make it past the quarterfinal stage. They also have 6 clean sheets, the most of any team, with Real Madrid on 3. That's an interesting statistic there for everybody out there to go place wagers on what I'm giving you. Borussia Dortmund could make it a double for German teams in the UEFA competition. Of course, Leverkusen were trying to make it happen. Didn't quite happen for them in the Europa League. Of course, it's down to Borussia Dortmund to fly the flag for the German teams as well. Real Madrid have won only one of the 6 previous Champions League meetings with Borussia Dortmund when the game is not taking place in Madrid. They've drawn 3 and they've lost 3. That's also another interesting stat. Buckets, I'm going to move over to the Real Madrid angle in just a second, but any of those stats jump out to you?
The one that jumps out to me first and foremost is the fact that Dortmund is playing very defensive in the UCL, and that is not something we're used to seeing when they're playing domestically. We just hear
Yeah.
German club and we assume a lot of goals scored, a lot of goals conceded. They kept PSG from scoring in both legs of the semifinals, so it's going to be tricky to bet defensively with Dortmund. But keep in mind they are playing very defensive right now.
Well, let's go to the Real Madrid side of things. Borussia Dortmund have only won 3 of their 14 meetings with Real Madrid in the competition. They have drawn 5, they have lost 5. So therefore, you'd have to say credit to what Real Madrid have actually done in this competition. Carlo Ancelotti's team have lifted Europe's top continental trophy on 14 different occasions, not obviously all with Ancelotti. It is 7 more than any other side in the history of the competition. Can they make it 15? Real Madrid has also come back to win 4 matches in Europe this season alone. They've been losing in games. They've come back to fucking win 4 times in Europe this season, which is quite remarkable considering they're a young squad of players mixed with some experience with Toni Kroos and obviously Luka Modric and the goalkeeper who's never fucking there anymore and wants to come back to play in the final. Cheating bastard. Then Real Madrid, they could go unbeaten across European competition with the Champions League and European Cup this season for the first time in their history. They're currently sitting on played 12 matches to get to the final. They've won 8 of those games. They've drawn 4 of them. If they avoid defeat on Saturday, anything stand out to you there? Buckets.
A couple things do, but I have to keep my bias out of this because this was the club that knocked out my beloved Bayern Munich. I will say one thing with this Real Madrid side, and I know that we'll get into this later on in the show. Be very careful betting on player props with this club because they just have so much diversity and so much versatility from their strikers. They've got 9 guys on the pitch that could score at any given moment, so it's a very tough team sometimes to wager on.
I'm glad you pointed that out here because let's go to some sort of team news that's coming out of Real Madrid. Ancelotti's got to decide between the fit again Thibaut Courtois, as I pointed out, and Andre Lunin in goal. David Alaba and Aurelien Tchouameni are confirmed to be injury absentees. That basically means that Toni Kroos is going to get the start in midfield in what will be his final ever outing in his career, a Champions League final. Fucking phenomenal. Can't even write the script, man. It's absolutely insane. But here's the debate, Buckets, and I want you to just maybe have a comment on this one because the loyal listeners are going to expect you to have something to say about Lunin, who has been pretty good throughout the competition so far in the absence of Courtois. Courtois has recently come back from a serious injury. He's had 4 clean sheets, if I'm not mistaken, even though he got taken out of the game at the weekend. They didn't basically give him that clean sheet. I'm giving him that clean sheet. I think this is an interesting comment because Andre Lunin has been sick. He's had fever. There was obviously rumors about whether he was going to travel early. He's not been training with the team. So the question would be to you, does Lunin get the go-ahead to play? Because after his performance, obviously, at Manchester City, for example, that was a great performance. And then what happened in the Bayern Munich game was pretty crazy, but he still had a place in that game where he made a mark. Now, you're going to drop him for the final for Courtois? What do you do?
He had a massive place in that match against Bayern Munich here. He's been tremendous all season long. Real Madrid only conceded 26 goals in 38 domestic matches this season. They've been on fire. I will be honest and say I did not know that Lunin had a fever. If Lunin was perfectly match fit with no issues right now, I would start Lunin over Courtois. With that being said, it might be more of a match day decision, especially with both of these guys struggling with different injuries and sicknesses right now. It's very tricky for me.
All right, from producer Jeff's side of view, I mean, Borussia Dortmund's side of view, we got to look at what's happening in their starting 11. You would expect Kobo to start in goal with Ryerson, Hummels, Schlotterbeck, and Maatsen. I mean, it's a pretty solid back line. As we pointed out already, the clean sheets and only conceded 9 goals throughout the competition so far. Borussia Dortmund have surprised all of us. They've been better in the Champions League by far compared to what they were playing in the Bundesliga this season. Sabitzer and Emre Can we would expect to start in midfield. Jadon Sancho, Julian Brandt, Adeyemi, and Füllkrug will start up front. You happy with that lineup? Do you think there's anything that could potentially change there? Or do you think that maybe he just throws out Marco Reus? I can't imagine Reus would start with him.
As much as I would love to see Marco Reus starting, I just don't see that happening. He's going to be a part of that super sub squad coming in the 60th, 70th minute if it's very tight and if they need to make those decisions. Do you think is Daniel Malen still out for this one?
No, Daniel Malen is back, and Daniel Malen is one that could potentially start this game. I'm just intrigued to see if he does start this game. So, I mean, I don't know. He's been kind of the one that's in hit or miss with form, but also hit or miss with injury. I don't know. He's kind of an impact player to have off the bench as well, but so is Adeyemi, a very similar player. You have to start Jadon Sancho, though, right? Because it's kind of cool to see that you'll have Bellingham on one side, you'll have Jadon Sancho on the other side, both of them obviously English, and playing at Wembley Stadium is quite incredible.
Yeah, you got to start Jordan Sancho and you got to start Nicholas Füllkrug. Those are the two guys who I guarantee you will be playing at top. So if you want to look at player props for Dortmund, those might be the two guys you want to touch on so far.
Speaking of bets, you say, let's get into it. It wouldn't be a show of stoppage time if we jumped into our betting expert, John Buckets Timer. Welcome back to Buckets Bets. Hit the big time. Buckets! It's the Champions League Final. It's what we've been waiting for. And for the loyal listeners out there, I want 4 best bets from you today. I'm looking at a best bet overall from the Champions League Final. I'm looking for a best player bet as well, John Bucket Timer. A same game parlay where you can go anywhere you want, any team you want, any player you want, any goal, any action, wherever the fuck you want. It has to be a same game parlay, but also buckets for our crazy wild loyal listeners out there who love to place those long shot wagers. I am looking for a long shot plus 500 or higher wager from you. And guess what, buckets? Today, I got a couple of bets as well. But let's begin with your best bet overall. This is the one that you are all in on. Let's go.
If I am only betting on a single wager in this matchup, I am doing this one, Ian, and it's actually plus 110, which shows you that my best bets, I go with my gut. I go with what I believe in, and I am not scared of these plus odds. I call this the I love you, Jeff bet. Jeff, I want you to have my back here no matter what, because this is a bet that we cashed on when we bet on that second leg matchup against PSG. This is Dortmund to score in the second half, currently priced at plus 110. Listen, the way I've got this game script playing out in my head is I unfortunately think Dortmund will be down at halftime. I don't think it'll be a lot, but I think 1-0 in the first half to Real Madrid is very realistic, which is going to force Dortmund to go all out and attack in that second half here. As soon as we see that first goal, no matter how long it takes, it is going to change the pace. And it's going to change the overall structure of this matchup. Dortmund in the second half being down, which I think they will be, they're going to have to go for goals here. And as you and I have already talked about, Ian, they've got some super subs on the bench to help make this happen if it's still 1-0 in the 70th minute. I love this look because to me, I wouldn't be shocked if Dortmund get 2 goals in this game, but give me that plus 110 for them to have some second half action.
Dude, this is a wild and crazy bet. It's obviously something that I've seen you place a lot more recently when it comes to wagering on big games, big occasion, the second half. And is it specific teams that you're looking for? Like, how do you come to this? Is it statistically that it's proven that they score more goals? Are you just feeling that the first half is going to be a little more cagey and certainly the chances are going to be few and far between?
I am definitely going with this bet because this is a final. It's kind of like if you watch the Europa conference final between Olympiacos and Fiorentina. We had nothing for the first 90 minutes in that game. I don't think it'll be that bad, but nobody wants to make that first blunder. Nobody wants to make that first mistake that puts their team down. So I do expect this to be a bit of a slower, cagey start, but eventually Dortmund's going to have to say, get ready, Jeff, with the buzzer. This, let's go for goals, Ian.
I love to hear it. Not the curse words, but I do love to hear that Borussia Dortmund could potentially get that second half goal. And God, I would love to see it. Buckets, let's go to your best player bet for the Champions League final coming up.
If I'm going to go with a Dortmund bet, I've got to give a bet to our Real Madrid fans and loyal listeners here. There's only one guy I'm looking at with the player prop market, and I know that it's a tricky market to bet because there are so many good players, but Vinny Jr. to score or assist, Ian, is playable right now at minus 130. It's a little bit of juice here, but when you're looking at the form he's in, not only domestically, but in Champions League right now, I don't see how you don't bet Vinny Jr. to do something in this matchup. In his 26 matches played with Real Madrid domestically, 15 goals and 5 assists. In his UCL matches alone this season, 5 assists and 5 goals. He is a guy that is capable of scoring, but he's also capable of being that playmaker and linking up with the likes of Jude Bellingham, Rodrigo, or Joselu here. I don't know if he'll score, so I'm giving myself the safety net of the to score or assist angle here. Takes a little bit of the value away, but I still love that play considering he might be the assist guy in this matchup.
Love it. Love the bet. Love Vinny Jr. Love everything about him. Obviously, this guy, he does a lot of his talking out there on the pitch. He does a lot of talking on social media as well. Kind of love the guy. He's a pretty cool fucking dude, man. If you go follow him on social media, you'll see that he's into his fashion. He loves the jewelry. He likes his hairstyles. But this guy can perform. Sometimes on social media, I feel like a lot of these guys are show-offs, but when they get out on the pitch, not necessarily always consistently good. This guy is consistently fucking brilliant. And you pointed out his statistics so far this season have been pretty sensational. In the Champions League, he has 9 games, 5 goals, 5 assists, which is absolutely brilliant. And it goes along the fact of what Buckets has pointed out right there. Score or assist, you have an opportunity here of cashing that ticket. In La Liga, 26, as Bucket pointed out, 15 and 6. 15 goals is pretty spectacular. I think it was only beaten by Jude Bellingham for Real Madrid this season with goals in La Liga. He also had a couple of performances in Supercopa where he scored 3 goals as well. So 23 goals and 11 assists from Vinny Jr. this season across all competitions is not bad. Buckets, are you ready for my best bet? Their bet.
Yep, let's hear it.
All right, as everybody knows, it is the Champions League final. I'm going to Borussia Dortmund plus 425 on the money line. Good luck, everybody out there. Bet responsibly. Against Real Madrid, who are currently sitting at minus 116 on the money line to get the job done in 90 minutes. Buckets, point it out before we go any further that this is a cup final and what can happen. So be careful betting the money line. Point it out.
Oh, yeah, it's a cup final, which means that your bets are only graded after that initial 90 minutes. If you have Real Madrid to win, Real Madrid money line, and it's 1-1 at the end of regulation, and Real Madrid wins in extra time or in penalties or whatever, your bet loses. You are wagering on that 90 minutes of regulation outcome. And the same goes with player props. So be very careful because they do something in extra time, or if Vinny Jr. scores a PK and PKs in this matchup, it doesn't matter towards our wagers.
All right, so we're going to the Champions League finals, of course, Borussia Dortmund against Real Madrid. I am on for my best bet this weekend. Nicholas Füllkrug to have 1 single shot on target. It's currently sitting at minus 125. It's not the plus numbers that I'm normally used to giving out, but at minus 125 for a shot on target from Nicholas Füllkrug, yes, please, I'm all about it. This dude has no idea what's happening in his life. Let me break it down for you and for Buckets out there. It's incredible. He has no idea what's going on, Buckets. You're going to absolutely love this one. Only 3 seasons ago, he was playing for Werder Bremen in the second Bundesliga. And last season, he was just trying to get Werder Bremen into the top half of the table. Of course, he went on to win Golden Boot last season because Lewandowski decided he wanted to leave the Bundesliga and go score goals in Spain. That's why he won the Golden Boot. It wasn't a ton of goals. I think it was 16 goals he scored in the Bundesliga, but still, he had to share it with Nkunku. He still won Golden Boot. And now, fast forward, he's a fucking German international player playing the Euros in Germany, and he's playing in a Champions League final. Get this, Buckets. His first ever UEFA game. Fuck Champions League. His first ever UEFA game was against Paris Saint-Germain this season. How crazy is that? It's absolutely mental, and it just goes to show you, boys and girls out there, never give up on your dreams, man. This guy's in his late 20s now, and he is living his fucking best life. Champions League final, you think he's going to pass that opportunity up to have 1 shot on target? I don't think so. Nicholas Füllkrug, 15 goals across all competitions, 3 of them coming in the Champions League. He's also got a pretty impressive 8 assists to his name in the Bundesliga, which I thought was really outstanding, especially from a striker with not the best touch around the box. He is pretty good in the knockout stages as well. 2 goals. He got 1 against Atletico Madrid. He got 1 against Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-final. Atleti, of course, was in the quarterfinal. His 3 goals in the Champions League this season have all come at home. I know they're not playing at home, but Borussia Dortmund, obviously, they'll be using the home locker room. I don't know if that bodes anything or changes your mindset as to how this game should be bet. Let's dive into his shots just this a little bit more. 29 Bundesliga games played, 58 shots, 29 on target, 12 goals. And in the Champions League, 12 Champions League games, 31 shots, 10 on target, 3 goals. All I'm going to say here, Buckets, is bet responsibly, but do you like it?
I absolutely love it. And this is the kind of wager to when you see him in any other matchup besides this final, 1 shot on target is minus 350. Obviously, it's a final. Real Madrid is a different monster, but that is an asinine line for a guy that is going to eventually just start hauling them from wherever he can on the pitch. If Borussia Dortmund has the tiniest sliver, the tiniest chance of getting a shot on target, Füllkrug is going to take it. I think this is a tremendous value and a great find, Ian.
Well, I was just pointing out there that Real Madrid have conceded 15 goals this season in the Champions League. 15 goals. I'm not asking him to score. I just give me a shot on target. Just a little shot on target there.
A little bit.
I'm glad I found it out there. I know it's minus 125, but it's close enough to my plus numbers that I like to get to for the loyal listeners, Buckets, because I feel like there's a lot of reward from what you're getting in there. It's not too juicy. It's something that is really playable. And it's very realistic to me that this has an opportunity of hitting it. Now, Buckets, I have challenged you for a same-game parlay. We haven't done this for a long time, and it's kind of cool that we're going back to this. I feel like it was the World Cup the last time we did something crazy like this. But same-game parlay is not easy in a game like this. Where are you going?
It's not easy, and I'm not being the most creative person on the planet with it because I'm going for the Buckets Classic with a little bit of a twist here. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals parlayed together. It gets you to plus odds. It gets you to even money at plus 100. I do think it's going to be a slow start, but this is a game that I think will have a tremendous and explosive second half. As Ian has mentioned, this Real Madrid side is so good because they score so much, not because they play such good defense. And even though Dortmund has been good defensively, you can't sit back and park the bus for 90 minutes against Real Madrid. They will eat you alive. This is a matchup in which both teams have to go for goals here. If you want to win this game outright in 90 minutes, I think it's going to take 2, possibly 3 goals to get that done. And I do believe, even though we did not see these in the other European finals, I think we get goals at both ends of the pitch here. So both teams to score and over 2.5 goals for 2 tremendous attacking teams and also 2 really good counter-attacking teams at plus 100. I've got no problem laying that juice all day long.
Yeah, speedsters in amongst that Borussia Dortmund side, and of course what happens with Real Madrid with Rodrigo and Vini Jr. I mean, pace, determination. I mean, what they have there is just absolutely brilliant. Oh, by the way, they're probably going to throw Mbappe in there next year. Fucking hell, the best just got a little bit better. Stats, I like to back you up here on Buckets as well. When I look at the last 4 appearances, of course, in the Champions League 2017, they did meet in the group stage. That score finished 3-2 at Real Madrid, and in Dortmund it finished 3-1 to Real Madrid in Dortmund. So both teams scored, plus they overhit quite handsomely there. And in 2016, they also met in the group stage. Real Madrid at home was 2-2. Real Madrid away from home in Dortmund was also 2-2. So both teams to score, and the over also hit there. Buckets, the loyal listeners demand something sexy. And no, I'm not talking about you and your dating life. Oh. Sometimes they ask for these crazy bets, and I'm always a bit scared when we give these out, so I'm going to warn people in advance, please bet responsibly. This is just something we feel fucking good about, that we might place a fraction. Nah, it's a Champions League final. We're placing a full wager. What you got?
Full unit going on this bad boy. Ian texted me. He said, Buckets, it has to be at least plus 500. And I said, okay, let me go plus 600. Let me give you something truly special here, and let me give you a play that I know Jeff will love. So, Ian, I'm going to test your knowledge on the spot here. What current player for Borussia Dortmund received or picked up the most assists out of anyone on their starting 11?
This season across all competitions?
Across all, we'll say just domestically, but it's also the same across all competitions. Same guy.
I just pointed out that Fulkrug had 8 assists this season. So has someone got more than 8?
One guy has more than 8 right now. He's got 11 domestically, and he picked up 2 in Champions League so far.
I don't want to say it's Adeyemi. I want to say it's not Sabitzer. I want to say it's not Marco Reus. It can't be Marco Reus. Jadon Sancho?
No, you're missing one. You're missing Julian Brandt. I'm taking Julian Brandt to have an assist. It is priced at plus 600. I almost spilled my drink, which is a good sign because I didn't. And it's also a good sign because Julian Brandt is going to get that assist. I think that he is more than capable of scoring. Julian Brandt has been a tremendous talent all season long. In his 27 starts this season, 7 goals, 11 assists domestically. He has been this creative playmaker. And while he's been struggling with some injuries and with some health stuff, when he starts, he is a force to be reckoned with because he's got that crazy eagle vision. He can sit in the middle of the pitch and say, I've got Daniel Malm here. I've got Nicholas Fulkrug here. I got Marco Reus running up on the back here. And he is the guy that can assist to anyone from anywhere on the pitch. Julian Brandt to have an assist at plus 600 is a long shot. Of course, you want to bet responsibly considering Dortmund might only get 1 or 2 really good chances at a goal here. But if a goal is set up for Dortmund, I cannot ignore plus 600 for Julian Brandt to be that guy to spark this Dortmund side.
46 appearances, 10 goals, 16 assists. Man, that I would never have gotten that, even though he has been brilliant this year. Maybe we're not speaking about him as much now because he's no longer the youngster. He's 28 years old, so he's kind of getting up there in his age. So now people are expecting this type of a performance from him as well. So yeah, pretty impressive. 16, he had 12 in the Bundesliga, 3 in the Champions League, alongside 2 goals in the Champions League as well. Buckets, plus 600 odds always sound a bit sexy to me. And I think I've got a plus 600 myself. Are you ready?
Oh, yep. Let's hear it.
I'm going to the fucking wild side with this one, baby. All right, of course, in the Champions League final, it's a big game. It's a big occasion. But it's not just always for the players and the fans. Sometimes it can be a big game for the referee. And I have a feeling that this referee at 44 years old is going to be a little bit nervous, It's a big occasion. He has refereed in a UEFA final before. I'll break that down for you in just a minute. But my bet here, as a long shot, is Borussia Dortmund to score a penalty kick in this game. It is currently sitting at plus 600 across multiple sports books out there. And here are the penalty kicks for Borussia Dortmund this season. They've had 7 of them. And guess what? They've scored all 7 of them. Nicholas Füllkrug has scored 3 of them. Emre Can has scored 2 of them. Marcel Sabitzer scored 1 of them. And the legend, the one and only Marco Reus, has scored 1 as well. And in the Champions League, only the 1 penalty kick has been awarded to Borussia Dortmund this season. The legend himself, Marco Reus, stepped up to score that one. It was against Milan, I think, back in the group stages. Now, the referee I pointed out a moment ago, it's a big occasion for him. Slavko Vincic, Slovenian. He was the referee for the Borussia Dortmund win over Atletico Madrid in the quarterfinal at home. They won by 4-2. So that's a good omen right there for Borussia Dortmund fans if you want one. Let me break it down for you. A little bit of information that I found out. He's 44 years old. He will take charge of the match 2 years after refereeing the 2022 Europa League final in Seville when Eintracht Frankfurt, of course, won it, a German side, against Rangers on penalty kicks. The game ended 1-1 on that day. I went in to figure out more information about this guy. It says here that he boasts a moderate record when it comes to handing out bookings in the game. So for all you wagers out there who like to place bookings, moderate with the bookings. He's also moderate with the penalty kicks this season. And that includes games when he's officiated across European competition as well as in his native Slovenia, where he's domestically active. And why? 23 games he's refereed this season in Slovenia across multiple competitions. And in Europe, handing out 91 yellow cards, 1 red card, and 2 penalty kicks. Now, I like those odds. 23 games, 2 penalty kicks awarded. I just would like him to step up and show me just another one. It's a long shot. It's a wild one. I want everyone to bet responsibly. But for Borussia Dortmund to score a penalty kick in the second half and Nicholas Füllkrug to be that guy, yes, please.
I don't hate it. And let me give you a little bit of synergy here, IPJ, because we're not sponsored by a book. I can say this. If you bet on my guy, Julian Brandt, to have an assist on FanDuel, if he draws the foul that leads to a penalty, FanDuel rewards that as an assist. So if Brandt gets fouled, goes down, Füllkrug scores a penalty, you cash both of our plus 600s on the exact same play. So it's a long shot. It's something you would be careful with. Bet responsibly, of course, but it's the Champions League final. We get one of these a year. I'm going a full unit on it, Ian. I am ride or die with you, baby. Let's do it.
Bro, picture this right now. Julian Brandt wins the penalty kick in the 56th minute. It's the second half, therefore cashing your second half little wager right there. And he wins the fucking penalty kick. So on that sports book, you win the assist right there. Who steps up? It's my guy, Nicholas Füllkrug. Guess what he does? He hits the target with that penalty kick. He also scores as well with that penalty kick. Fucking hell, I would absolutely love it right there. But that is what we got for the Champions League this year. And Buckets, I know you enjoyed this.
I loved it. And hey, to add one more layer to this, if Real Madrid is up 2-0 at the time of this scenario, we could also cash the both teams to score and over 2. I'm just saying, a miracle could definitely happen here, baby. This is something truly special we're setting up here for the viewers.
Dude, I know that someone out there is parlaying every single thing we just said right there together, and it could be pretty dangerous. So everybody bet responsibly, because in cup finals, anything can happen, and they are pretty crazy. So anything can realistically happen. We have no idea which way this game is going to go. And before we go any further, feel free to put it up right about now, producer Jeff, what your prediction would be, because this is your team, and I know you're feeling very strongly about it, but a little bit nervous about what fucking could happen with Borussia Dortmund. So there you have it, everybody. There's what producer Jeff is having in the final as well. Buckets, it's been a fucking great season, man. And we're about to cap it off with a Champions League final. I'm so glad we did the show this way, because I just wanted to focus on the game. Didn't want to bring in comments, didn't want to bring in what happened last show or what's coming up next show. I wanted to just focus on the Champions League final, because I feel like a game of this magnitude deserves all of our attention and some spicy wagers.
And some spicy wagers. And Ian, I don't think we should be allowed to leave the show without both of us giving a score prediction on this one as well. You agree?
Yeah, so fucking go ahead then.
I'll go ahead and start, because again, I want Jeff to like me, because I've seen what happens when he edits when I don't like me. However, I will always be true and honest to the loyal listeners. I am going for a 2-2 draw at the end of regulations, and I've got Real Madrid winning in penalty kicks.
Wow. You know, we had on our morning footy show on CBS Sports Galazzo Network, and Gregor Kobo came on, and Nico Cantor, fucking that dude loves football. He lives for football, that dude. He basically asked him a question: would you rather win the game 2-1, or would you rather win the game on penalty kicks and you be the hero to save the penalty kick? And he said, I don't really care. I just, I want to win the final. Bull fucking shit, by the way. Bullshit. I mean, you're guaranteed to win it anyway. So if someone's saying to you, you're going to go to penalty kicks and you're going to be the fucking hero, of course you want to
Take
be
the
the hero.
glory. Absolutely. Take the
Why
glory.
would you not, right? Take the damn glory and enjoy it. I thought it was pretty interesting, but there's been so much great stuff. And Jude Bellingham has really impressed me with some of his interviews. Guillaume Balagay's been out there doing interviews, and he's just so good because he's got relationships with a lot of the players and how composed they are. Jude Bellingham, the dude's 20 years old, man. He talks like he's fucking 32, right? First and foremost. He's got such experience already for such a young boy. I would love to see him win it. And so I'm going for Real Madrid to win the game in 90 minutes, Buckets. And I don't think it's going to be a boring game. This is at Wembley Stadium. This is a big fucking game. Dortmund are going to go and score first. So the come from behind stands for Real Madrid. So Dortmund score first. Nicholas Füllkrug shot on target. But then they score a second goal. And then Real Madrid just fucking wipe the floor and score 4 goals before the game's over. I just feel like it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't know why, so please don't, obviously, wager on this. I'm not wagering on this. I just got a feeling both teams to score. Obviously, the over is going to hit, I think, 4-2 Real Madrid, but Borussia Dortmund get off to a great start. I know you're looking for your second-half goal, but I've just got a feeling that Dortmund are going to get off to a fucking great start in this game.
Listen, they can get a goal in the first half, go up 1-0, get that goal at the start of the second half, go up 2-0, and still hit my ticket, and then concede 4 goals. I do appreciate that we're both on the same side here, though. If we think there's going to be goals, which is all I really want in any European final, is just some action. And we haven't gotten that yet this season, so I'm very excited to hopefully see a goal-heavy matchup here.
Buckets, no show next week. The Joy Boy is on vacation. I will be out on the golf course enjoying myself, spending time with my daughter, Madison Louise Joy. She just turned 18 years old, which means, of course, in the UK, for everybody out there who's watching overseas, 18 years old, you can legally drink. So I shall be going to the pub and enjoying a few tasty drinks with my daughter, which will be fun, interesting, strange, weird, all at the same fucking time. Also meeting her boyfriend for the first time. Apparently, it's a big fucking dude. Yeah, you're a big dude, but this guy's another big dude. He's a goalkeeper. Do you know what they say about goalkeepers?
I don't, and I'm too nervous to ask.
They're not really fucking goalkeepers. They're not really soccer players. They're not. They're just fucking goalkeepers, right? It doesn't mean to say you're a soccer player. Now you're starting to play a little bit more with your feet. If you play for Pep Guardiola, I call you a footballer, right? You're a footballing goalkeeper. But everybody else, you're not really a fucking footballer. You're just a goalkeeper. You're the guy that everybody said, listen, you're 6'5", just stand in between the sticks, like you, Buckets.
That's
All
exactly.
The boys, you
That's exactly how I got picked up for my indoor team. They said, you're as big as the fucking goal. Go stand there. Wave your arms around. I said, done. That's all I got to do. Easy.
Dude, a hat trick of curse words from John Buckets Eimer mean that we probably got to get out of here. Buckets, I appreciate you for all the great work that you have done. So obviously no recap from the Champions League next week. Everybody, we will be away. I'll be on a plane middle of next week heading over to Europe. John Buckets Eimer's keeping himself busy, obviously swiping left and right, keeping himself active. You know, he's got that fitness regime he's got to keep up as well. Any updates on the dating life, by the way?
I got to remember Mama Buckets watches this. There's private updates, but it's going well.
Oh, I'm intrigued. That means that I get to hear and all you loyal listeners don't get to hear what's going on. Hot Coco's been pretty busy right now with the kids, obviously going to soccer and fucking jiu-jitsu and fucking every goddamn dancing. There's like so much going on right now. And you know what I've been doing, Buckets, this whole time? Outside of work, I've been going and playing golf, and it has been so good for me because it has been Mental Health Awareness Month, and I've been out there playing golf, improving my game, but taking care of my head. And I think it's important to share that message just before we get out here, Buckets, for everybody to enjoy their summer.
Enjoy your summer, guys. We worked so hard all season long for this break that really isn't even a break to a lot of us. And I know that we're all in different spaces and periods of life, but enjoy the time where you can. Enjoy the warm weather. Follow Ian on Instagram to get his mental health updates, because every morning I wake up, Ian, and I click your story, and you're always on that damn golf course going, hey, what's up, everyone? Taking care of the mental. I want to see more of that. I want to see us all enjoy the summer, have a good time, spending time with our friends and families, and getting ready for all hell to break loose when Euros get here in what, 2 or 3 weeks? Take a break. Enjoy it.
Yeah, take a break, enjoy the Champions League final, everybody out there. First and foremost, obviously, we want people to take care of their mental health, but at the same time, we've got the Euros coming up. We will be back. We will be placing wagers, and we're going to probably do a big show around the Euros. So maybe it will be ready in time for the Euros beginning. Maybe it's just after the first game, which of course is Scotland against Germany, which will be pretty crazy. But then I'm going to break down a lot of groups and what we think is going to happen with futures and things like that. So me and Buckets are going to go pretty heavy on that. We're going to work on that over the next couple of weeks. So we will be going a little bit more heavy on Copa America as well. So there's a lot to talk about. Social media will be active. You can also follow Buckets John Betts on his social media because he's been very active on the live plays. He's going to start retweeting on Stoppage Time his plays as well, the live plays. So everybody in the loyal listener following can see that as well. Of course, I will do my best to repeat as much as I can, retweet as much as I can. But I will be probably out of sync for about 7 days, not being able to communicate properly because I will be drinking. I'm only joking. I'm going to play golf, enjoy time with the family, switch off and refresh and come back stronger just after my break and get ready for the Euros, get ready for Copa America, and you best believe it, ready for more stoppage time as we go through the summer into next year. And then we finally will find a home for our show, Stoppage Time, as we get to the closing stages of 2024. Everybody out there, please, until I see you next time, make sure you bet responsibly. Make sure you take care of your mental health. Make sure, just like Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund are going to do for us boys and the loyal listeners out there, make sure this weekend and for this summer, you absolutely have it!
Stoppage time.